Cloud. All right. And you should have gotten a notification that I am recording the meeting. So you should have received that notification. Let me just make sure that I am recording. Just one more second for me. Oh, I am recording. All right, so great. So I am honored again. I am Victoria Dixon-Mokeba, and I am the director of the Oratorical Contest for the South Carolina Baptist Congress of Christian Education. And we are so blessed today to have our president, Dr. Lucius Dixon, on. And so I am going to ask President Dixon if he would like to give greetings before we get started, or anything that he wants to say, because we do respect and honor our president and our leadership. So Dr. Dixon.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Dr. Dixon-Mokeba. We certainly want to take this time to thank everyone for joining in. This is very important, especially for the Dean's office, because this is going to give us ways to let us know how we're going to handle oratorical for this 116th annual session. I know that your time is valuable and everybody is busy. So I want to, as president, I lead the way in joining in with all of our sessions and things that we need to do to make South Carolina Baptist Congress of Christian Education a much better and more informative for all of our lay persons. So God bless you, Dr. Mokeba. Thank you for your efforts in trying to reach the constituents of the South Carolina Baptist Congress Christian Education. God bless you.
Thank you, President Dixon. If there are any other, I know there are Mr. Hughes, some other people, members of the Congress, the South Carolina Baptist Congress that are on, I appreciate you being here, and also all of our other guests. I can't see all the names right now in my presentation mode, but I do want to reiterate what President Dixon has said in saying that thank you for the investment of your time today. Take the oratorical contest very seriously, and is a way that we can reach our youth in numerous ways. So I'm really excited about this year. Last year was a trial and error year. It didn't go like we wanted, but you know what? You look and you revamp, you do things differently. And so the hope is to present this webinar, and also with Pastor Dixon's permission, President Dixon and Dean Adger, is also to maybe go to some of the congresses and maybe share with them so that we can share the information, so they can share the information and get students involved. So I really do not mind doing these types of workshops just to make sure that we are all on the same page and that we understand what is required. So I'm gonna dive right in, but if you want to introduce yourself and where you're from, I know we had someone do it earlier, but everyone was not on at that time. So if you wanna unmute and introduce where you are and maybe which association you're part of, that would be great.
Assistant Dean Hughes, Lower River Missionary Baptist Association, Greenwood, South Carolina.
Thank you.
Earlene Howard Smith with the Trinity Missionary Baptist Church and the Sumter Congress.
Welcome.
Good morning. I'm Suzette McClellan. I'm with the Wateree Baptist Association, Lower Division in Sumter and St. Mark 4B Missionary Baptist Church.
Welcome. Thank you.
I'm Rose Lowe with the Rocky River Baptist Association, Anderson, South Carolina.
Thank you, Ms. Lowe. Welcome. I've had some communication with you. Thank you so much. Is that everyone? I think there was someone else.
Thelma Ravenel, Charleston County Missionary Baptist Association.
Hi, Ms. Ravenel.
Hey, Dean, Dixon, how you doing?
Good.
Thank you, Ms. Ravenel. We have Josiah Gary, I don't know, and Layla Elliott, I don't know, these are students. Reverend Thelma Dixon, First Lady of the Congress.
Josiah Gary.
Yes, hi.
Little River Missionary Baptist Association, Union Number 2, Abbeville, South Carolina, and I am a student.
Welcome, thank you.
Good morning, I'm Layla Elliott, and I'm a member of Trinity Missionary Baptist Church, and I'm a student.
Welcome, Layla. Is it Ariana? I hope I said your name correctly.
Yeah, it's me. I'm Ariana. I'm a member of Welfare Baptist Church, and I'm also a student.
Welcome, welcome. It's so nice to hear and see you on as well. Did I miss anyone? Let's see. Somebody's texting me. I might make sure everybody's getting in. Just a second. Okay, sure. All right. Well, welcome. We're going to go ahead and just dive right in. President Dixon, you see this. He's our president, and Dean Reverend Mitchell Adjers, the Congress Dean. All right. So let me move you guys over here. I'm sorry. I'm manipulating my screen right here. And so we're going to say, well, it's good morning still. So we're going to kind of liven it up a little bit with a little bit of music. How about that? Let's see if it works for me.
It's a beautiful morning. I think I'll go outside for a while and just smile. Just taking some clean, fresh air for me. No sense in staying inside. If the weather's fine and you got the time, it's your chance to wake up and plan another brand new day. Either way, it's a beautiful morning. Each bird keeps singing his own song. So long, I've got to be on.
Oops, sorry about that. Wait 1 second. I'm trying to get my screen moved and I moved it. But anyway, we did that song. It's a beautiful morning. I don't know if you guys know, yesterday was International Smile Day. And so, the smile will lighten up any room and make you feel good. And when you smile, you make others feel nice as well. So I hope you enjoyed that song to kind of get us started. We're going to do an invitation. This invitation is one by Cheryl Silverstein. Now, I have to go ahead and give a disclaimer. I am an educator. So, and so those kind of things come out with me. But if you are a dreamer, come in. If you are a dreamer, a wisher, a liar, a hoper, a prayer, a magic bean buyer. If you are a pretender, come sit by my fire, for we have some flax golden tails to spin. Come in, come in. And that is by Cheryl Silverstein. All right, so we also have a pledge to the Bible, because with the oratorical contest, as you know, we're pulling scriptures from the Bible, and it's religious based, so it has to be based on that. So the pledge to the Bible is: I pledge allegiance to the Bible, God's holy word, a lamp unto my feet, a light unto my path. Its words will I hide in my heart, that I might not sin against God. Now, I read that aloud. I want us to read it to ourselves, and I'm going to read it one more time. Because if we all come together, it's going to sound all jumbled. So I want you to look at those words, and you're going to read those words to yourself, and I'm going to read them aloud again. I pledge allegiance to the Bible, God's holy word, a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. Its words will I hide in my heart, that I might not sin against God. And let's watch this small clip.
This morning, I really did not want to read my Bible. The thought of sitting up in my bed, fingers filled with the marrow of laziness, ESV silent in its distance, but loud in its convicting invisible sirens, the disrupting music of my consistent encouragements that I stack in the back of my disciples' ears, such as, you have to read your Bible. The word is where you meet Jesus. How do you expect to know God if you don't read about him? Nag me to action. So I settled for the conveniently placed Bible application on my phone. Thank you, Apple, for your help. I proceed to read a psalm or two until I feel I've met my morning spiritual quota for the day, and then my heart proceeded to grab my soul by the hands and gently place a heavy Nagasaki-like whisper inside of its palms. You are far too easily satisfied, I thought. And I remembered the big picture that the Bible is where I get to know God. King, Savior, Lord, friend Jesus meets me in this book that I often treasure in theory. So reading the Bible really does matter. Where else can I go to audibly see the voice of God, learn how to climb inside of his shadow and follow it straight into his throne? My soul is safe there. So I'm done with the excuses. The next time laziness or whatever attempts to steal me from the Bible, I'm just gonna punch it in its face.
Okay, that form of spoken word was her prayer. And we're going to get into what spoken word is. So a lot of my presentation today is going to be presented through that avenue, because that is kind of where we're going. And so the more that you have examples of what that looks like, what it sounds like, what it feels like, you'll have a better understanding of what the expectations are. All right. Look at the next slide. All right, so let's please pause for a moment of silence as we had that prayer. Amen. It's very important for our young people to know this song. Right. Thank you so much for indulging me with that. And I'm going to get back to that, because even when we talk about what is the spoken word, and we're going to understand that the spoken word is written, and it could be written in poetry, it could be written in song. And as you know, we're going to be talking about some of those characteristics and elements and devices that you can use as you're continuing to write through the spoken word with our oratorical information. We'll get back to that one. So the scripture emphasis for the 2022-2023 school school year, Congress is Matthew 4:18 through 22, Luke 4:4 through 6, and Romans 15 and 7. Matthew 4:18 through 22 says, Jesus calls his first disciples. As Jesus was walking beside the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon called Peter and his brother Andrew. They were casting a net into the lake, for they were fishermen. Come follow me, Jesus said, and I will send you out to fish for people. At once they left their nets and followed him. Going on from there, he saw two other brothers, James, son of Zebedee, and his brother John. They were in a boat with their father Zebedee, preparing the nets. Jesus called them, and immediately they left the boat and their father and followed them. Luke 4:4 through 6. Jesus answered, "It is written, man shall not live on bread alone." The devil led him up. Wait a second. There's someone in. The devil led him up to a high place and showed him an instant all the kingdoms of the world. And he said to them, I will give you all their authority and splendor. It has been given to me, and I can give it to anyone I want. In Romans 15 and 7, accept one another, then just as Christ accepted you in order to bring praise to God. So these are the scriptures that you're gonna theme your oratorical parts around, going back to that. And it's really important that you use the scriptures and bring them into your presentation and how you're going to present that. And even when you look at the scriptures and how it writes and how it flows is very important, and how you say it. And we're going to be talking about that. But more importantly, that you internalize what the scriptures mean and what is it saying to you. All right, so let's go through the N.J. Brockman contest guidelines. And one of the things you can do is that you can go on the website. They are there. That's another place that you can go. But I am going to make this video available to you, this presentation. So this is the flyer that's there, and it's the one that's behind me. It's the N.J. Brockman Oratorical Contest. The emphasis, reaching wanderers through Christian education, and those scriptures that I just read, and the requirements for eligibility. The contestants' church and Congress must be registered in the South Carolina Congress of Christian Education. This one is available for 7th, 8th, and 9th, and 10th and 11th graders currently enrolled in secondary schools. And then again, you can visit the website. It's going to be at the Brookland Baptist Church, 1066 Sunset Boulevard in West Columbia. And that's going to be on November the 5th, and it's going to start at 9 o'clock. Get some more information here. Let's see. All right, so let's see. I wanted to show you something. Let me see if I can go to that. Let's see if it's going to take me there. No, it didn't. Make sure. Let's see. Okay. So the winner from each associational Congress competition will be sent to the South Carolina Baptist Congress of Christian Education's one-day session in November to compete in the state contest. Each associational Congress must see to it that its winner's name is submitted via the Congress website online oratorical registration at least 2 weeks before the contest. The online oratorical registration is preferred. Oratorical registration form is also available on the website if a manual registration form is more convenient. So you can send it manually if you don't want to do it electronically. The requirements, again, I just said your church must be registered in the South Carolina Baptist Congress of Christian Education. 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th grade students are currently enrolled in school are eligible. Winners in grades 7 and 10 are eligible to compete twice in the N.J. Brockman Oratorical Contest. This ruling specifically stimulates that the winners in grades 7 through 10 may participate again in the contest, but only one time after they have won initially. Winners in grade 11 are not eligible to participate again in the N.J. Brockman Contest after having won at the state level. All contestants, however, are highly encouraged to maintain their involvement in the oratory by participating in the C.O. Jackson Oratorical Contest that is held at the State Congress in July. Okay, and follow the guidelines. Let's see here. You must have won your associational Congress contest to be eligible to compete in the state contest. So that means you go through your Congress. A state elimination will be held at this event in November. No more than 8 contestants. The 8 contestants earning the highest points will be selected to compete at the state finals, which are to be held on the same day. Your speech must show creativity, originality, and pertain to the theme of the Congress. Okay, and we talked about what that theme was a few minutes ago. At least 5 days before the contest, one typewritten copy of each contestant's speech must be submitted online in the N.J. Brightman Oratorical Speech Repository. Contestants may also email the speech to me, and I'm going to give you my information if you don't already have it, and it's also on the website. All right, so we're going to see if this is it. Frequently asked questions. Okay, these are some frequently asked questions. Let's see here. So tell me about the topics for speeches. Generally, the contestants at the local, associational, and the state levels must adhere to the Congress theme, which is generally always a theme established in July during the annual session, which is reaching wanderers through Christian education. Each contestant must use the exact words of the Congress theme and/or emphasis. However, it is also permissible to additionally use a subtopic that is closely related to the theme. A contestant will be disqualified if he or she speaks on a non-Christian topic or on one that is totally unrelated to the theme. Specifically, each topic must be related to Christian education. If you have any questions and in regard to that, please reach out to me and we can, I'll make sure that we're on the same page. I do not want a student to do all of that work and then not be able to do it or be disqualified. So please, if you have questions, please let me know. What are the time limitations? Each contestant should limit his or her speech to a minimum of 3 minutes or fractions thereof, or a maximum of 5 minutes. If a contestant speaks fewer than 3 minutes or more than 5 minutes, he or she will be penalized by the judges. 10 points will be subtracted from the contestant's total score for each minute he or she speaks under or over the time. Timekeeping judges will time the presentations. The judges. The contest will be judged by a group of 5 to 7 judges. A panel consisting of 3 to 5 persons will serve as content judges. The content judges will be responsible for rating the participants' overall performance, and that all of that is on the website. If you want to see what the ratings are, what we're looking for, that is also on the website. A panel of a maximum of 2 persons will serve as timekeeping judges. The timekeeping judges will be responsible for the assessment of penalties and for timing of the presentation. The judges will be persons professionally trained and knowledgeable in speech, oratory, composition, and performing arts, and persons who are involved in Christian education. How will the competition be judged? A panel of a maximum of 2 persons will serve as statistician judges. The statistician judges will tally the score sheets to determine the final ratings of the contestants. The maximum number of points a contestant can earn is 110. He or she cannot receive more than 10 points for each item on which the judge or rater evaluates him or her. Each contestant will be introduced according to number. The contestant should not identify himself nor give any indication of his or her church or locale. There will be no ties. In the event of a tie, the judges will make a final decision. Please explain evaluations and the selection of winners. Each contestant will receive a participation award. Each contestant. 3 contestants will be chosen as winners and will be awarded scholarships in the form of gift cards. The first place winner will receive $200. The second place winner will receive a $175 gift card. And then the third place winner will receive a gift certificate of $150. Important deadlines, very, very important. Each associational Congress must see to it that its winners' names is submitted via the Congress website's online oratorical registration at least 2 weeks before the contest. This date is October 22nd. This is approaching fast, October 22nd. Please have that, your contestants, your winner's name submitted to the via the Congress website. At least 5 days before the contest, one typewritten copy of each contestant's speech must be submitted online in the N.J. Brockman Oratorical Speech Repository. Contestants may also email the speech to me. They can also, especially for the students who are on and you guys are tech savvy, if you want to send me a video, that would work too. If you don't want to type it out, you can also send it to me via a video. Okay, that's another option that you have. I need to put that on there, but that needs to be done by October 31st, because like I said, we're going to meet on November 5th at Brooklyn Baptist Church. Okay. All right, so the spoken word. Any questions so far before I go on? Because I'm going to get into what is the spoken word. Any questions from the students or anybody that's on? Any questions? Are you still there? Okay. All right, I'm going to keep going. All right, I'm just checking. What is the spoken word? Spoken word is writing that is meant to be read out loud. Some examples of spoken word you might be familiar with are stories, poems, monologues, slam poetry, rap, and even stand-up comedy. Communication is a way that students can communicate, that people communicate. Not only do students do spoken word, but like you said, you see it in monologues, slam poetry, rap, comedy. It's a way to communicate and to express yourself. It's also part of your introspection, building your identity through personal experiences, using the scriptures, using the Bible, using the theme to express yourself. You write it down and then you speak it, but it's personal. Okay, so there's that introspection with that. Also, it builds confidence, and it really grows from your own perspective, you are able to express yourself. Young folks really like to express themselves. Like I said, I work with students each and every day, and it's that affirming space, students, that you have to really express who you are, how you're feeling, what your experiences are, where you've been, where are you going, those kinds of things. It's a form of expression. Also, it's a paradigm shift. And what does that mean? There are several ways that we can do the oratorical contest, but this is a paradigm shift, really looking at how to connect to young people. Young people really connect through the spoken word. This is some of the things that you kind of changing with the times. This is one of the things that, as I've done my research and looking at the shifts in how we engage and involve our young folks, the spoken word is one of those things that they are really intrigued with, and using the different levels of technology to express themselves. That's why I said, if you want, you can write it. You could also send me a video expressing yourself using that. And it's also an act, a reclamation, an act of reclamation, making something that is tangible, something that is positive from your life experiences, and being able to share that. I am a writer. I'm a writer. I write a lot. That's one of the things that I do. It just is very relaxing for me, but it's something that I really enjoy doing, but also being able to articulate that writing. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. And it's very empowering to do that. So we think that young folks have said that the spoken word is empowering, affirming, and it's a way that they can really express themselves in a safe space. So those are some of the things that we're looking at as far as that. Let's see what else I have here. So what you're going to do, some tips for the spoken word. So you choose a subject, and that subject, you kind of have the subject because you have the theme, you have the scriptures, and you want to have attitude with it. No attitude, no point, right? Feelings and opinions give poetry its richness. But when you put your feelings into it, when you express yourself, that is a way that it gives you a unique perspective and a view of the world that no one else has. Each of you, at the beginning of the presentation, I read that poem by Shel Silverstein, if you are a dreamer, come in. If you are a dreamer, a wisher, a liar, a hoper, a prayer, a magic buyer. If you are a pretender, come sit by my fire. For we have some flax golden tails to spin. Come in, come in. We all have these stories to tell. Everybody has a story embedded in them. And the spoken word gives you that avenue to let that come out using the scriptures, using the theme that we've selected this year. All right, so you want to have knowledge of yourself as a writer. And like anything else, you have to practice, practice, and practice. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. And even with your spoken word and your writing and your practicing, you're going to get better at it. Pick your poetic devices. That's one of the things I talked about when I was doing even the poem Shel Silverstein, the invitation. There's some rhyme and other devices in there. Even the song Lift Every Voice and Sing, there are some poetic elements and devices within those songs. Even the songs that your favorite song, if you really take the time and look at the words, you can really see some of the poetic devices within the music that you listen to. So poems get the attention that are the ones that incorporate simple but powerful poetic elements. Repetition is a device that can help a writer generate exciting poems with just repeating a key phrase or an image. All right. Rhyming, using your diction as a performance. Looking at performance, spoken word poems are written to be performed. So when you're writing your spoken word, whatever you're doing around the scripture, it is to be performed. So after your poem is written, practice performing the poem with the elements of good stage presence in mind. One of the things I tell you this all the time when I go and do presentations, I probably did it with this one. When I was talking, I'll go in the mirror and I practice, and what is my face doing? I use my hands a lot. You guys can see that. But I do practice, and I also try to make eye contact. If I was in person with you, I'm not looking around, I'm not staring down, I'm staring at the floor. I'm making eye contact. I'm perusing the room. I'm looking at people, and so you're gonna find somebody. There's somebody always out in the audience that you can kind of get fixated on. That person is either nodding or smiling or saying, "Yeah, you got this," or that kind of thing. So you always want to capture the audience, and you capture the audience through the devices that you're using, through your performance style, whatever you're doing to kind of grasp the attention of the listener. So that's really important as well. Your projection is also very crucial. So remember to speak loudly and clearly so that your voice can be heard from a distance. Enunciation helps the listeners to hear exactly what you say. Don't mumble. I tell my students all the time, I don't understand that. You're going to have to open up your mouth and speak, because guess what? No one knows what you're going to say as best as you do. No one knows. And so sometimes, yes, we mess up or we forget lines or whatever, but guess what? Nobody knows that but you. So keep going and project well, be confident. Speak clearly and distinctly so that your audience can understand exactly what you're saying, because guess what? You have put a lot of work, time, and effort in this, and you want to articulate it very well, and you want everyone to hear what you have to say, okay? All right, facial expressions help animate your poem. I saw this new app on my phone last night. They can take a picture and you can put songs with it, and it does the eyebrows, and it just switched from a picture. Right. And I did it several times with different songs. And it's amazing how the different expressions, depending on whether it's a sad song, whether it's an upbeat song, or whether it's a silly song, I can't remember the name of the app, but animate your poem using your facial expressions. You are not a statue. Now, who wants to listen to somebody like this? I'm just going to say, if you are a dreamer, come in. If you are a dreamer, a wisher, a liar, a hoper, a prayer, a magic buyer. If you're a pretender, come sit by my fire. We have some flat scopes until spin. Come in. I mean, really? Who's gonna listen to that? I mean, it's boring. So let's make sure that we kind of liven it up with our facial expression, or with our intonation and how we're doing that, with our emotions, our gestures, or whatever we're doing. So you want to make sure that you are using all of the things that God has given you to make your presentation come to life. Okay. Memorization, that's one of the things I said. Once you memorize your spoken word piece, you can devote more time to your performance. Memorization allows you to be truly in touch with the meaning and the emotional content of your poem or what you're saying. Even if you forget a word or a line, you can improvise. That's freestyle, which is one of the most important elements of spoken word. I just said, no one knows your poem better than you. No one knows it better than you. So if you forget a part, just keep it moving. Just think of a word already planned. What word would if I forget a word, what's my backup word to keep going? So always think about that, okay? All right, power poetry. Spoken word must be well spoken, all right? So you want to make sure you're speaking your power poetry. And I got this, I just Googled this, all of the information I got from Power Poetry. So you can, that's why I want to give credit to them for their work. All right, let's see. Let's look at this one. Let's see here. Make sure I can get that one. I'm sorry, my son is home on fall break and he and his daddy are down there watching a soccer game.
There I was, standing shamefully in a court room, surrounded by demons on my left and angels on my right. Satan as the persecutor.
Let me see if I can put my hotspot on. Just give me 1 second.
Holding millions of records about my life and God, sitting on a throne with a mighty gavel in his hand. I had no lawyer. Placed on trial for things such as lying, stealing, and fornication. For this was the beginning of my tribulation, for there was no reason to plead an innocent statement, for all the evidence was sitting right there with Satan. The demons smiled as tears rolled down the judge's eyes, for they clearly knew that now was the hour of my demise. But wait. In came a light shining so bright that the demons smiling suddenly jumped with fright. And the man that walked in that night was none other than Jesus Christ. Darkness departed to give way, and glory was all the angels could say. As the man that walked in that night pulled out a lighter and immediately set Satan's records against me on fire. He took the sentence file and erased my name, looked at me in the eyes and said, "Daughter, I'll take the blame." Handcuffs were placed on this man and he was thrown to the ground. The entire courtroom gasped at this horrendous sound, and the sudden seized the beat of his heart. The man that walked in glowing had now become dark. I did this to him. My lying, my stealing, my cheating, and he took the pain and spent 3 days in the hell that I was to go to for eternity. I left the courtroom that day, and there was nothing I could say. I was found innocent, for Christ handled the debt that I was to pay. This type of love is more than you could give to a girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife. This man died for me. I owe him my life. And even though my life is not at all worth it, how could you ever trade preference for perfect? See, I gave my life to Christ and suddenly picked up a mop. The lying, cursing, cheating, all that had to stop because my life had been bought. And it'd be a shame to sit there and do nothing but let it rot. I'm not perfect, and the will to sin hasn't completely diminished from my life. But I believe Jesus' words when he died for me on that cross. It is finished.
All right. Let's see. Okay, so again, reminder, the contest is going to be on November 5th at the Brooklyn Baptist Church. If you have any questions, you can contact me. There's my email address. You can also call me. It's best to email me or text me. Because I get so many calls. It's best to email me or text me and I'll get back with you. But I want to open it up. Please, I'm going to stop sharing my screen for just a second. And I'm going to see if you have any questions or comments for me. And I see that our Dean has joined, Dean Adger. Hello, Dean Adger. Do you want to say anything? Uh-oh, I think you're muted. Let me see if I can. Let me see, I can see if I can help you here. Unmute. Oh. There you are. Oh, we still can't hear you. Oh. It's unmuted, but we still can't hear you. You must have sound issues. Okay, we can't hear him. But he's there. Our dean is here. So thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. Are there any questions or
Dr. Michaela, sorry to butt in, but I heard Dean, so somebody else may have heard him. I heard him loud and clear.
Oh, okay. Well, keep talking. I couldn't hear him. So that's on me. That's probably mine. So Dean, please speak again. I couldn't hear you, but Assistant Dean Hughes said he could hear you. So keep talking.
I couldn't hear him either.
I can't hear him either.
Yes or no?
No, I can't hear him.
Oh,
No.
everybody says no.
No.
Does anybody have his phone number? I'll call him real quick and I can get him on speakerphone. Somebody else can call him, but I'm on speaker. I don't have his number.
I'll
Yes.
call him.
Are you calling? Okay, and just put him on speakerphone. While we're waiting for Dean Adger, President Dixon is going to call him. Are there any questions?
Yeah, I hear you. I can hear him. I got him on. He's talking now.
Okay, go ahead, Dean. We can hear you.
Go ahead, Dean.
Good morning, Dr. Mokeba. All that's joining us this morning, Dr. Dixon. It's good to be on with you this morning, Dr. Mokeba. Sorry for being late, had a deacon custody, but I got the second part of it.
Yes, well, thank you so much. It's so good to have you on as well, Dean Adger. Thank you, Dr. Dixon. But again, to our those folks who are on, are there any specific questions that you have or comments that you have for me or President Dixon or the dean or the assistant dean who are on? Anything that we can do to help or answer any questions that you may have?
I have a question. In the past, we've had eliminations at the beginning. I just want to know in the event we have several people participating, will everybody participate or will there be an elimination?
Well, according to the information, there will be that elimination process. I don't know, Dr. Dixon, if you want to speak to that. I'm just going by the guidelines that I have.
Yeah, we have not changed the protocol. So we'll let you know in a couple of weeks whether we're going to change. I'm going to meet with the vice presidents and with the dean's office and see if we can kind of like come up with something like that. Because we don't want to discourage anyone.
No.
Make sure. Yeah, we definitely want everyone who wants to participate and is qualified to participate can participate.
So,
Did I help the question?
Are you thinking that the eliminations would be at 9 o'clock or prior to 9 o'clock?
The elimination will be probably during the business session of it. That's the way we normally have it. So we start at 9 o'clock with the business session, and then the student will disperse with Dr. Mokeba and go into a secluded room where she will give the instructions again and let them know what they're supposed to do. So that's why it's important that we all come early. Try to be there. Everybody try to be there at 9 o'clock so that the students will not miss out with, I won't call it interrogation, but informing.
Yeah. But I'm with Ms. Lowe, and again, I'm going to follow the leadership, but I'm going to be an advocate for the students. With some of those who are eliminated, I'm just happy that students are participating and meeting the qualifications to be there. So, but yeah, again, thank you for that question, Ms. Lowe, and thank you for that comment, President
Mokeba. And if everyone would follow the rules you just mentioned, no one should be eliminated.
Okay.
From speaking rather,
Right. Okay, thank you, Ms. So that's a great question. Any other questions?
I don't have a question. I just have a comment. Normally, in the Charleston County area, we have our eliminations among our churches, and then we pick the winner from that to send to the oratorical. But however, the information was not, we didn't receive it in ample time to have an elimination, because normally we let the students know when we close out in June or in May, this would be your theme for November, and we have our elimination in October, but we didn't get the information in ample time to have an elimination, so we won't have a student there. So we would like to know if we can get that information, well, in July. This would be our theme for November. So when we go back in our sessions in September, our students will know in advance so we can have our elimination.
Okay.
And then to answer Sister Lowe's question, I think the guideline says that if there are more than 8 students, then we will have an elimination to have only 8 students. But if there's 8 or less, then all the students will participate, and then we will find a winner from that for those students.
Thank you, Ms. Ravenel. I think like what we said, those are the guidelines that have been in place. And then I'm advocating, and Dr. Dixon said he and the team will look at changing some of those things so that we can have more participation with that. One of the things I want to apologize, we've had some, we've upgraded our website. It looks really great. And so that information, the 5-year plan is on the website. The theme for each year is on the website. So it's even on the website for the next 3 years coming. And so that information, so you will have, so you'll know exactly what the theme is. And so we were just going through a transition in doing that. And I don't know if you guys received the mass mailings from the Congress. We also have a app, if you don't have that app as well. So communication is very important. And we were going through a little change with the website, just getting some upgrades and things done. So I apologize for that. But those themes are there. And if you have students, like I said, we don't want to turn any students away. And I know we have it's October 8th today, and the thing is on November 5th, the oratorical contest. So we would love to. We don't want to turn any students away, but that information is there. It's on the website. And if you have any questions, again, you can email me or you can text me for that information. Now, I apologize that you did not get that information in a timely manner, but make sure that we have your correct email address, because we do send those mailings out pretty frequently with information about not just the oratorical contest, but other things that are happening with the Congress. And we'll make sure that you get that information. I apologize, but thank you for letting us know that.
So who do we send the email address to? Because I haven't received anything either. And I thought my email address I thought someone had it, but I didn't receive any communication.
Okay, I think it's Miss Kathy Charles. She does the mass mailing, and let's see if I have her email address, because I've been forwarding some to her as well, so that you get that. Let me pull it up real quickly, and let me just type. Can you guys see the chat? I'll type her email in the chat.
Yes.
Okay, let me pull it up. Kathy Charles here, Reverend Kathy Charles. All right.
And so I gather I'm hearing that the C.O. Jackson theme is already up.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of that stuff has already been up since about 2 weeks after we had the 115th annual session. We upgraded the website.
I was checking for weeks, and I never saw anything except what was up there this summer for C.O. Jackson.
Okay.
We had to rush to get our contestants ready for our local contest.
Okay.
Okay, well, we apologize for that. We hope that doesn't discourage anyone. We don't want to discourage anyone. So
I placed Reverend Charles' email in the chat. Let me make sure I have it right. It's mincc@yahoo.com. That's 3 C's. mincc ccc@yahoo.com. She is the one who is responsible for doing the mass mailing and making sure that she has your address so that you can receive those mailings. Also that, students, you might want to do the Congress app. We have a Cash app, the South Carolina Baptist Congress of Christian Education. Not only just students, but I know students, they're always on their phones, at least mine is, my son, and everybody else who wants. If you download the app, I do have the app on my phone as well, and it's easy to navigate. You can just go click on the app and you get the information. It pulls it right up. I don't know if you can see my phone, you probably can't, but it's right there and the information comes up. Okay. Any other questions? These are great questions. Thank you so much. Any other questions that you have?
I have a question in terms of the spoken word. So a student can submit a poem, a rap, a monologue, a traditional speech, as long as it's in that 3 to 5 minutes on the theme.
And scriptures are there.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Sure can. All right. Any other questions?
Andrew got his hand up.
Who's that? Who has their hand up?
No one.
Oh, okay.
That was a hand. That was a hand. Computer hand on Ash's face. That's what.
Oh, okay. It was this. Okay. Okay. And also, what I've said, Dean Azure, before you got on it, and I'm just going to reiterate it. If you need me to come and speak with your associations or anything like that about what this may look like, anything that I can do to help you, I am willing to do that. And it's best if I do it by Zoom. That way I don't have to physically go to the area. I'm in Columbia. That's easier for me if there anybody in Columbia, but I'm happy to kind of talk to the students about the process, or those who are leading the students. I do not mind doing that. I will make myself available because I really want the students to participate and really, really grow in Christ through this process. Okay. Any students, do you have anything, any questions, anything to say? Ariana, Josiah, who else was it? Layla. You guys good? All right, she did. Don't call me out. All right, so I just want to again thank you for the investment of your time today, and if you have any questions, please feel free to give me a call, or I would suggest that you email me or text me. That would be the best thing. My contact information, I have put it up there again, so you can take that information, and I will be happy to assist you. I assist your associations any way that I can. And I just want to say again, thank you again for being here, and I look forward to working with the students. I look forward to seeing them on November 5th and receiving the information. So thank you so very much. Pastor Dixon, President Dixon, do you want to say anything to close us out?
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
Dean Adger? Oh, his speaker isn't working.
God bless you. Thank you again for sharing. We are here to assist Dr. Mokeba in any way that we possibly can. So please support our oratorical contest.
Thank you. And Assistant Dean Hughes, you still there?
God bless you. We're looking forward to having a wonderful time. Encourage the students to do all they can do. And this is the stepping stone to their future.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, again, I just want to say thank you, and I will make this, did someone else say something? I will make this presentation available. So thank you so much. You can leave at your arm. It's going to end with this prayer. Thank you.